Good day, students. This presentation this morning is about your SBS, but I think that will start on Monday morning. Now, the aim of SBS is to give you practical experience in planning, writing your lessons, and do your presentations that you will need one day when you are a qualified teacher. This session today is to give you some guidance on some of the topics in your SBS guide. I wrote a handout during the December month holidays, and in this handout are very simple, detailed information about your guide. It covers all the components in your guide, so it is important that you must try to get hold of this handout and read it together with your SBS guide. If there is anything in this handout or in this SBS guide that is not clear to you or you do not understand, then you call me and do it immediately. You can call me anytime, any day, and I will answer your call, doesn't matter where I am. If you do not have enough money on your phone, then SMS your question to me and I will come back to you. Now, the number, my contact number is 081 876 4839. And please, students, do not wait till the end of SBS and then suddenly call me and say you do not understand this or that. Make use of that opportunity from this moment on. Now let us start with the assignment. It is not printed in your guide, it is a copy that you will receive. DJPE, the latest assignments, consist of 100 marks. You must answer all the questions and all the questions will be marked. 90% of the questions are direct from your study guide. Look up the answers, and let me tell you, there is no reason why any student should fail the assignment, because all the answers are there directly. The other courses, ACPE, BESP, DES, you still have the old assignments, but I believe it will change very soon. Now, your assignments consist of more than 100 marks, but the marker will choose only 100 marks to mark. So please do not call me and say, I failed, sir, but the tutor did not mark all my questions. When you look at the questions, you will see that all the questions start with a verb: explain, discuss, outline, list, describe, etc. And these verbs can be very confusing sometimes. So my advice to you is always answer in a sentence. Always answer in a sentence. There is a verb, list. List does not always mean that you must write a word or two. For example, list procedures. That procedure requires a sentence. Let the question lead you, but as I said, write a sentence. Then you play safe. Also look at the marks allocated to your assignment. If something counts 5 marks, then it means there must be 5 facts. If something counts 10 marks, it means there must be 10 facts. So when you look up the answer, read your answer, select the facts, and then you write it. Do not just write long sentences or even compositions. You waste space and you waste time. Look up your answers, you will find it. Start with your assignment now. Do not wait till the end of SBS and then suddenly try to answer it. You put yourself under pressure because there is a due date that you must hand it in. And if you start now, you can do every evening a couple of questions, and then you are relaxed and you have the time to look it up. When you open your guide, you will find a topic, SBS information per course. There they indicate to you the number of weeks to do SBS, the number of lessons that you must present, the number of lessons that must be evaluated. Make sure that you take note of it, understand it, because the markers will check on it. In the DJPE guide, there is an observation sheet. You must complete it. You will not get marks for it, but if you did not do it, then marks will be deducted. So look at it at the beginning of your book. Let us come now to your lesson preparation. Now the lesson preparation consists of 3 different components. First of all, it is the pre-presentation component. Now there are 5 aspects, and in the handout I explain very simple to you so that you can understand what is the meaning and how you must use it. But there are 2 that I want to point out. The first one is A3, and that is the learning outcome. The learning outcome is what your lesson is about. Your whole presentation from B1 focus on your learning outcome. That is what you want the learners to understand by the end of this period. Not by the end of the week or next week, by the end of that specific period. As I said, your whole lesson plan focus on this part. A4 is the broader outcome. There you explain what is the reason for this learning outcome. Why is this learning outcome so important? We also can say it is part of your motivation for the learners. I will come back to that. Now, both the learning outcome and the broader outcome must be reflected somewhere in your lesson. Normally, it reflects in the introduction part. The presentation components, that is your real lesson, B1, B2, and B3. This is where you plan your lesson. Now, B1 has certain requirements, and normally your learning outcome and your broader outcome will appear in that part. Look at your evaluation form, the introduction part. There you will see 4 criteria that a teacher or your assessor will evaluate you on. Use that criteria and change it into teacher steps. Your whole lesson is about teacher steps. We don't want lesson information. We don't want to know what the learners are doing. It is about teacher steps in sequence, how you present your lesson. So anybody that evaluates you, somebody from IOL, a visitor, or the class teacher, they will follow your lesson from your preparation form. So plan your steps very carefully. We even numbered the steps for you. You will see there is, we can say a small space. So that means that you must plan your steps carefully, plan your words to fit in. And it is important that you must write as many steps as possible. You cannot write 3 or 4 steps and then expect a good mark for that. Your B1 is your introduction part. That is where you get the attention of your learners, and that is where you explain to the learners your learning outcome. You explain to them the broader outcome. There you can ask questions about it so that you get the learner's attention immediately. Then we come to B2. That is your real presentation. That is where you present your lesson to explain to the learners your learning outcome, what you want them to know by the end of this period. As I said, we want to read how you present it. Now B2, the value of B2 is around 80% of your lesson. This is the most important part of your presentation. When it comes to B3, that is your closure stage, where you end your lesson. Look again at your evaluation form. It is number 7 on your evaluation form. Read the criteria and write it into teacher steps. Again, students, from what I observed during previous visits, the students make notes and they use the school's lesson preparation form, and then at the end of SBS, then they try to write all 20 lessons. It is then that you plan to fail, because if you sit with an assignment and you sit with 20 lesson preparations, there's a due date, it is impossible to finish it. You cannot remember all the information, you cannot remember how you present your lessons. So every day you sit and you plan your lesson for tomorrow. There are days that you will present more than one lesson to fit in the number of lessons that you must present. So sit every afternoon, plan your lesson. If you are afraid to make mistakes, then write it in pencil. And then afterwards, you can write it in an ink pen. Just make sure that you erase the pencil marks, because the markers cannot read the pencil and the ink writing on that same form. Again, the importance is write your lessons today that you are going to present tomorrow. Examples of lessons. Now, in your SBS guide, you will see there are a couple of examples. Read these examples, that will give you very good ideas. But please do not copy that examples directly. This is what I experienced so far. Read it to give you guidance so that you can plan your own lessons. In the handout, there are 2 very good examples of lessons, written lessons. The one is from a student from Utapi. It's a very good lesson. It is from B1, B2 and B3. And then there is a second example from a student from Walvis Bay. This is an excellent example. There we have it from A1 up to the end of B3. Read these examples, and that will give you a very good indication how to plan your own lesson. So just make sure that you get these handouts, because it will help you a lot. Now let us come to the last part of the SBS guide. There you will see the evaluation forms. Now by this time, all the schools are very familiar with these lesson preparation forms. You will see in your guide there is an example of how to do the calculations that you can give to the teacher. That you can give to the teacher to explain how to do the calculations. What is important is that we want numbers on your evaluation form. I don't want a tick. because the markers must calculate to see if the calculations are correct, and make sure that all the criteria, they are all evaluated. Some students just make or write one number somewhere. No, make sure that all the criteria are evaluated. Also make sure about the number of evaluations that must take place. There are schools, it seems to me there are schools in the north where the students, the teachers have problem with the evaluating. They say, some complain that they have too much work to do. If you are in a situation like that, then you call me immediately so that I can make arrangements for that. The next topic in your SBS guide, the weak and the strong points. Weak and strong points about your presentation, not how you look every morning and you are on time at the school and so on. It is about weak and strong points about your presentation, and we want at least a paragraph on each one, not single words. Please write it in a full sentence so that we can understand it. The next topic in your SBS guide is the record of assessed lessons. These are the lessons that the teacher, assessor evaluated, and you fill it in on that page. The score must be there, and very important also is the signature of the teacher. Make sure about the number of lessons that must be evaluated so that the number is correctly, like DJPE. There are 20 lessons in total, of which 10 are evaluated. So that 10 lessons must be on that page. If you turn over the next page, you will see the record of lessons presented. That does not include the evaluated lessons. You fill it in, no scores are needed. You just the signature of the teacher. And now, to conclude this, before you hand in your SBS guide, page through it, make sure it is neat and clean. Erase all the pencil marks. Make sure everything is fully completed. All the evaluations were done. Then you send in your guide. Now, if you wait till the end of SBS and try to complete this book, it is then that you are under pressure and you send in this book, and the book will come back to you and you must do the corrections. So check it before you send it in. Again, I want to repeat, start today with your assignment. Write your lesson every afternoon or lessons every afternoon that you want to present tomorrow. Do not wait till the end. Do not copy from other students. You will make a big mistake by doing it. Do your own work. Redos. Now let me tell you, if you follow my instruction, then there is no reason why a student must fail assignment. There is no reason why a student must fail his lesson preparations. But if there is a redo, you get your marks with an SMS, and then you start doing a redo without knowing what mistakes did you make. My strong advice to you is wait till you get your marked assignment, your marked lesson preparations. There will be instructions or there will be guidance on what did you do wrong or which questions did you not do well. Now you have something in front of you, and then you do your redo from that one. Otherwise, you will sit with another redo. There are students that must redo 4 or 5 times. It is totally unnecessary. When you get your marks, from the SMS, please get your marked assignment, your marked written lessons, and look at it, and then you do the corrections. Students, I wish you a very nice, enjoyable SBS time. When you walk into the school, it's good to be called Sir, Madam, and you will enjoy working with the kids. But it is not a time that you just enjoy. It is a time that you have certain responsibilities. It is a time that you have certain tasks to do. Please do it during that time. Thank you so much and enjoy your SBS time.